Banking, what is that? Well, banking is when we go to, well, a bank and basically do any type of transaction there. We can go by depositing money, taking out money, opening an account. Have you ever gone or needed to go to a bank?
Yeah, of course. I don't like it, but I think it's something that everybody needs to do, right?
Yeah, it's necessary in this day and age, and it's not fun. So, what types of transactions can you do at a bank?
Uh, I believe at first you need to open an account.
Mhm.
Also, you can save money and take it back. I don't know
Mhm.
how to say that. Probably when you have a problem with something, you have to go to a bank to try to solve it. I mean something related
Yes,
to your account.
yes, pretty much. Whenever you need help, you need to go. Sometimes you even get a card. Just give me a moment. Someone joining. Ooh, hello, new. Hello, hello there.
Hello, hello, Marlene. Hello, Lionel. Good morning. How are you, my friends? Fine?
I'm
Fine,
fine,
thanks.
thank you. Thanks for asking.
Excellent. Good.
Give me 1 moment, actually. Okay, so by any chance, for example, do you have a card, whether it's for credit or debit or something like that?
Yep, I have both.
Excellent. Now, how do you remember your first time going to get it? How did you feel?
Sorry, my first.
Time when you have to go to the bank and make the whole deal so you can get your first card.
Uh, I don't remember very well. It was a few years ago. I was at college, I believe. I was starting college, and I needed my first card because I started a job on Best Buy, and I needed to for they to pay me. So I
Mhm.
went to the bank, and I don't know the manager. I believe he was the one that take care of that. Uh,
Oh
told me
Lord.
that that we were going to have some trouble because I was just starting college, so I didn't have an official ID of the college, and I was trying to get a university account.
Mhm.
So it was a problem, but at the end it it happens. Actually, it's the same account that I still have it for 7 years,
Interesting.
something like that.
Okay. Very, very good. How about, for example, have you ever had a problem with your account?
Yeah, sometimes I get charges that I don't recognize. For
Mm-hmm.
example, fees that they put on my card because of managing managing account.
Okay.
But because it's a student card, it shouldn't have uh, this kind of fees. So I need to talk to the bank and they retire those charges.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very, very good. Excellent. So far, we are doing great. We just get something real quick before, yeah, just show you this picture. Okay, we're gonna look at this picture, and before we get to the listening, tell me, what do you think is happening here?
I think her phone is broken.
Okay, very cute. And does she look happy or does she look angry about it?
I'm not sure if she looks angry, but she looks, I don't know, kind of afraid because of her phone.
Very good. Where do you think she is?
I don't know.
Do you think she's like in a supermarket or in a restaurant? Where do you usually take your phone when it's broken?
I don't know which is the name. A cell phone shop, something like that.
Okay, very good. Sometimes people just take it to yeah, shops that are specifically when you sell cell phones. In this case, this woman seems to be taking it to a electronic shop, where they sell a lot of electronics, including TVs, computers, and in this case, phones. So her phone is broken. Do you think she's asking for them to repair it, or do you think she's complaining about them?
I think she's asking for repairing.
Okay.
I, I,
And do
I
you
mean,
think,
probably is her fault, right? I mean,
yeah,
when
most
you
likely.
broke your phone, actually it's your fault.
So tell me, do you think they're gonna be able to solve it, or do you think she's not gonna be, you know, getting her phone back?
I'm not sure. In the most electronic shop, I believe they don't solve that kind of problem. Probably they gonna sell her a new one.
Okay, so have you ever had that problem? Where do you usually take your phone when it's broken?
I usually fix it by myself.
Really? How?
For example, I have broke my cell phone a couple times, and I sell the screen and change it.
Just like that. So you just, oh, well, oop. There we go. So you just take random parts and put it back together.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I need to buy the special for
Of course.
the cell phone, right? Yep.
And it works?
Yeah. Well, for example, when I was younger, like I don't know, 12 years old, no, I was like 15 years old. I solved the broken screen, but I I broke another part of the cell phone, so it wasn't useful anymore. But I mean, it was my first time.
Interesting. Okay, this seems pretty amazing. Let me
Yeah.
just okay, while I'm finding this, feels me you need something. Shoot, shoot. Okay, let me just move on real quick. Yes. Okay, so this topic specifically is about customer service. You told me that you were working in Best Buy, which is sort of like, sometimes they also sell electronics and stuff like that. Have you ever had to deal with, a customer that is, well, complaining?
Not really, because I was at shopping part. I mean, it's not
Mhm.
it's not something common that someone goes to complain about something that they buy, and if they do, they go to another parts For example, the repair shop one.
Okay.
So no, I didn't have to deal with that.
Pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. And in general, you never, in any other word, had to deal with, well, any customer in that case?
Yeah, yeah. Right now, I have to deal a lot with our customer,
Oh boy.
but it's not. It's software related.
And do you feel more comfortable with that then?
I don't like it at all.
Oh,
I I I have to deal with them when my boss is not. For example, when he's on vacation, I need to deal with the customer, and it's awful.
yeah, I can imagine. So you say it's awful, but tell me, um, how do you usually handle them?
Uh, or the well, we have to deal with an IT manager of Cinepolis. She's like our principal customer, and she's very special. So what I have learned is that basically you need to say her that it's okay what she is saying, and then you are going to solve it as soon as possible. And that's the better way to do it, because if you try to argue with her, even if she's not right, it's not going anywhere.
Okay, so you basically have to lie to the customer.
I mean, it's not a complete lie. it's
I
it's
understand.
just
Hmm.
it's just trying to not make the problem bigger, because she's very special. Yeah.
It's a small white lie then.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever been caught telling a lie?
No, because I mean, we don't lie. Usually, for example,
Oh,
I don't know, we provide the software for a point of sale for Cinepolis,
yeah.
and our software has a problem. I don't know, they can do anything, and she's like, you need to solve it because it's something that affects, I don't know, the way that we are. Uh, I don't know, the way that we used to work, and it's something that is not true. I mean, we know how they work, and we are not going to argue with her because it's not going anywhere. So we said, yeah, we are going to solve it as soon as possible, and then try to solve it, uh, but also. Telling her that she was not right, but later. I mean, not when she's angry, because it's not useful at all.
Yeah, I can imagine. So
Yep.
in that case, is there have you ever found yourself in a situation where they ask you or your team to fix something, but you are not able to fix it?
Yeah. We have a lot of levels of service. We are on a level 3. For example, when something is not working, Cinepolis have a level 1 support, then they have a level 2, and then we are on a level 3 when they are not able. And we, because of the software is not Mexican, it's New Zealand, we have another team in New Zealand that help us. Actually, we have another 2 levels.
Oh,
We call it the product team. That is, it's something like us, a little more specialized on the product. Uh, on New Zealand, they help us when they are not able to solve something, and we have a level 5 that are the developers of the software. When level 4 is not able to fix something, we need to go to the developers. And if it's something, for example, that the software is not able to do, they are going to fix it or to create a new feature, something like that.
Also, that's crazy. That oh come on, sorry, my kitty cat. That's really interesting. So basically, you are able to contact directly the creators.
Yep,
And for what I understood, if they need to add something new, they implement it, right? You said you are
yep,
in level 3.
yep.
How common it is to get to level 5?
It's different because my job is support. I mean, we check configurations, we check that the software is implemented correctly. And for example, level 5 kind of, they are developers. They add new things to the software. They create I don't know, new features, and also fix things that don't work in the software. It's uh, a different job basically.
Well, your job actually sounds really, really interesting. Pretty good. So, okay. So, as you can see in this picture, before releasing, we have to basically guess what do you believe is happening. So, we have the first one. First question: what was the woman's problem? You're looking at this image and you tell me what do you believe is the problem that this woman is having?
I think it's her broken phone.
Um, yeah. And the number two question is, was her problem solved? So look at the picture and look at how they are interacting. Do you believe her problem is being solved or is being solved?
Uh, if we only see this image, I believe it's not, was not, uh, because it doesn't seem like a repair shop, and also it only has TVs.
Mm, that is true. It could also be that they sold her the phone and told her it was like, it could never be broken, and bam, it's broken. Have you ever bought something that promised you, that promised you a feature but never gave it? Like a phone that broke instantly, or maybe a TV that didn't turn on.
I don't think so. I bought a TV once that only works for, I don't know, less than a year, but I believe that was the only one.
And what did you do about it?
I tried to go to a repair shop. It
Mhm.
didn't have warranty, so I had to go to another repair, and they told me that it it was gonna cost almost the same that the TV cost, and they weren't sure if it gonna work. So I lost that TV.
Oh,
Yeah,
and what did you do? Did you now have no TV?
yeah, I didn't have the TV for a long time.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
Yeah,
Oh, I would be so mad. So not fair. Okay.
yep,
Okay, okay. So in this case, I guess. Oh boy. We're focused on the grammar, yes. So in this case, we have what we're going to be looking at is yes and no questions. So of course, not all questions can just be answered with yes or no. In this case, we're going to be looking at a few that can be. Some examples. Let me see. Yes. There we go. So, can you please read this first part about the grammar?
Yep. The way to form questions depends on what information you want. The three common types of questions are yes/no questions, information questions, and tag questions.
Very good. So we're gonna start with the yes and no questions. I'm pretty sure that in your job, specifically when customers ask a lot of questions, you get questions that you can just answer with yes and with no. There's a pretty easy one. Let me just here we go. Number one, yes, no questions and their short answers. So, can you please read the first part where the arrow is?
Yep. You can answer these questions forms with yes or no. With to be, the verb goes at the beginning of the question.
Excellent. So again, this is how we form questions that can just be answered by the yes or no. In this case, to make a question like this, we need to, as you can see, get started with the verb to be. Whenever we make questions, we put the verb first. In this case, we're going to put the verb to be, which is or are. Can you read the first question?
Sure. Is Julie an accountant?
Very good. In this case, we are inquiring about Julie's position. And of course, as we were saying, you can just answer this one with yes or no. Is Julie an accountant? Yes, yes she is. Or no, she is not. She is not an accountant. So then let's go with, here we go. Next one, please.
Are judge expensive?
Judge. Very good. What's a judge?
I don't know.
Judge is the similar word in Spanish. Those are very big boats. Not too big. Those are just like boats for rich people.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So those are the yachts. So tell me, how would you answer this question? Do you believe yachts are expensive? Yes or no?
I believe they are expensive. Yes.
Yes, there we go. So that is your answer. You answer with a version of yes. So mm, here we go. Can you read the next part?
Yep. When the verb is not be and consists of only one word, we use a form of the word do and the infinitive without to.
So in this case, they're talking about if in this case we are not going to use neither is nor are, we're gonna need to use the word do. In this case, we have the example of the verb do, which is do. We could use does. We could use did, which are the version in singulars and then the one in past. So can you read the first question?
Sure. Does Jack work in marketing?
Very good. In this case, we are inquiring if the person, well, Jack is working in this specific section of the job, marketing. And the next one,
Did profits drop this quarter?
very good. Pretty simple questions, straight to the point, and you can just, as we see, answer them with yes or with no. So we can even use to be, we can use any form of the verb do. Let's see, what other what other examples do we have? Can you read this part?
Sure. When the verb contains an auxiliary or modal verb and a main verb, the auxiliary or modal verb goes at the beginning of the question.
Very good. So, in this case, we have the auxiliary or the modal verbs. We have the two types of verbs. The first one is, okay, so do you know what an auxiliary or a modal verb are?
Probably yes, but I don't remember
Oh,
right now.
don't worry. So, the auxiliary or the modal verbs are basically verbs It's a bit of a complicated topic, but the quick rundown is that these verbs don't really count as verbs. They're there to give sort of context to what the main verb is doing. For example, we could have okay. So here we have the question, but let's do it with a normal sentence. Thomas is driving. Which one is the main verb? Is or driving?
Driving.
Very, very good. So in this case, driving is the main verb, but the auxiliary verb, which is there to give us sort of like context. Make us understand that this is what is happening. Again, verb to be is said was that, and in this case, is what gives it the context. Same with can and make. They are both verbs, but the main one is make. But can't gives it the context that it's something this person is capable of. Good, we just move on. And can you read the last question?
Sure. Has Federico worked in sales?
Very, very good. Again, we are talking about if this person is working in this case, but has makes it well understand that we are asking if the person is able to function in this position. Good, and of course, bring it back to the topic. This can all be answered with yes or with no. Let me just hold on. Can you read this part?
Sure. We also use negative questions to check information we think is correct. When the question is negative, the word not is used with the first verb.
Very, very good. So, well, it's not really common. We can actually ask questions with negatives. In this case, we have it in this way, and of course, because they are negative, they need the word not. You cannot make a negative question without the word not. Like, for example, can not, which is well, can't, does not, which makes it into doesn't, is not, which becomes isn't. So, can you, okay, here you go. And it basically works the same. We need an auxiliary verb at the beginning. In this case, that one is the one that's going to become negative, and the main verb is going to stay in its normal way. Can you read this question? Just that one.
Sure. Didn't the newspaper come this morning?
Very good. The first verb, in this case did, changed to its negative form, which is didn't, and the main verb, which is come, stayed in its normal position. So we can get, it's not really common for us to make questions in negative, but it's technically possible. It's sort of a more sarcastic way of talking. Now, here we have the last part, which is talking about the answers. We've been talking about questions all this time, so in this case we have the answers. We can just say yes or no, just simple as that, but we can also push it a little bit further. What does it say here?
Sure. The answer to a yes/no question can be a simple yes or no, or it can be a complete sentence. Often, it is a short answer that repeats the verb that begins the question.
Very, very good. So in this case, when we are answering questions with yes and no, we can just say, well, yes or no. But sometimes we can make it a bit of a larger reply. Usually this is to not seem disrespectful. For example, sometimes people may ask, hey, can you wash the dishes? And you can just say yes or no. But sometimes you can say yes, I can to seem, a bit less disrespectful, kind of. And one of the rules we have here is that when we make these answers, we have to use the same verb that was used for the question. Is Brenda coming today? Yes, she is. No, she isn't. We use the verb is. Didn't the shipment arrive? Oh boy. yesterday? Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Mm, so I know this sounds or looks a bit complicated, but it's actually pretty easy. It basically just um, boils itself to three rules. So the first one is that these sentences have to be simple enough so we can actually answer them with a yes or no question. Uh, and sometimes it can use the verb to be. Sometimes we need an auxiliary, and when we answer the questions, they need to be in using the same verb we had for the question. If the question was asked with is, the answer has to be with is, and so forth, so on and so forth. So before anything, we are going to have to yes, leave for a moment and then come back. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. See you in a moment. Just there you go. There we go. Number three. Yes, maybe we should postpone the meeting.
Should we postpone the meeting?
Very good. Should we postpone the meeting? Excellent. You are using also the same verb, which is perfect. And let's go with number four. No, the sales representative is coming tomorrow.
Is the sales representative coming? I don't know if we need to do that today.
Yes, I think it should be today. The sales representative. Very good. And this person answers that no, it's actually coming tomorrow. Perfect. Here we go. And number five, yes, the committee decided on the new sales campaign.
Uh, did the committee decide on the new sales?
Because yes. Okay, we can just put it like that. Um, there we go. Excellent. Very, very good. So as you can see, it's a bit confusing, but it's not so complicated. When we want to make questions that are answered with yes or no, we basically have to mimic the answer or mimic the question and just basically move the verb what you believe is move. In this case, we had, for example, yes, maybe we should postpone the meeting. You took the verb should and pushed it to the beginning because that's how we make questions. Should we postpone the meeting? Very, very good. Now, before anything, one more exercise. We're going to be reading these conversations and you are going to have to answer them with the there you go. With the answer you believe is correct. For example, can you read number one?
Sure. Eric, do you know where my briefcase is? No, I
Excellent.
don't.
Very good. So we use the verb don't, do. So of course the answer is going to be in this case with don't because it's negative. Excellent. So let's go with number two.
Sure. Did you see me carrying it when I came into the office? No, I didn't.
Very good. No, I did. Excellent. Number three.
Could it be in my car? Yes, it could.
Excellent. Yes, it could. Perfect. Number four.
Perhaps, sure. Perhaps I left it at the front desk. Uh, maybe you did.
Excellent. Very good.
Can you
Number
call
5.
can you call the desk for me? No, I can't. Why not? Is there a problem? No, it isn't.
Right, because the proper question is there a problem?
It
We have an auxiliary.
there there isn't.
Very good. Now that is excellent. Number 7.
Would you tell me what's going on? Uh, yes, I will. Well, happy birthday. I'm not sure if that's the correct.
Mhm.
A new briefcase. Thank you. You remember? Yes, I did.
Excellent. Very good. Yes, I did. Perfect. Yeah, right, there we go. Okay, so for anything, let me just check this real quick. Okay, so in this case, as you can see, the first part of the topic is going to be divided in 3 parts, which is the information and the tag, the ones that we are missing. So it's a pretty easy topic. It's just basically making the sentence into a question and then into answers and all that. So far, do you have any questions? Something you didn't understand? Anything so far?
You mentioned at the beginning of the class that we are going to make a test.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that we are going to prepare. Actually, your document says
Oh, yeah.
TOEIC.
Yes, okay, that part. So the TOEIC, that's usually how it's pronounced, is a test. We're not going to do right now. This is for you to be prepared when you actually have to take the test.
Okay.
The test is a bit extensive. I mean, it's not. This test is pretty important, so it's not just like a one paper thing. It's gonna be several pages and listening and speaking, and it's a big deal. But don't worry, it's not for right now. We're gonna be learning and seeing what we can learn. And if I can answer any questions until I feel you are ready, and then I'm gonna drop you into the test, basically.
Got it.
So, very good. Do you have any other question by any chance?
Not really.
So we don't have enough time for the next